Well, what's up, Manna family? I want to welcome you to this week's installment of Morning Manna. My name is Todd Capen, and I am blessed to serve as the site pastor out at Manna Church's Anderson Creek site, right here in the Fayetteville, Fort Bragg region. And it is such a blessing to be a part of your devotional time as well. And I really hope that you use this time to connect with the Lord, worship Him and hear from Him, and continue to deepen your relationship with Him, because it is all about Him. And speaking of Jesus, sometimes I feel like maybe I don't pause often enough to think about what Jesus actually accomplished for me up on the cross. Maybe sometimes I move right past everything He accomplished while on this earth because I feel like I've read it enough times or I heard it enough times to say, yeah, I know what this part says, or I think I don't need to slow down for sections because I already know what happens, so I skip to the juicy sections, like the really exciting parts. But maybe sometimes I get so far in the weeds about certain things that I speed right past the cross. One of those areas where I think this can happen is when I consider what Jesus' sacrifice on the cross meant for me. Maybe you're in the same boat. Maybe you spend a great deal of time seeking out biblical principles that will help you improve your marriage or raise your children or better serve your family, or, you get the point. There's a lot there. But how often do we stop, pause, remember, and praise and worship and give thanks for the fact that Jesus accomplished so much for us up on that cross? More than we could ever fully grasp the magnitude of. In all reality, this should be at the forefront of our hearts every time we approach God. So let's look at a verse from Romans that we can really use as a launching point for our devotional time this week. In Romans 3:25, it says that God presented Christ as a sacrifice of atonement through the shedding of His blood to be received by faith. He did this to demonstrate His righteousness because in His forbearance, He had left the sins committed beforehand unpunished. There are 4 key areas that are addressed through the life and death of Jesus Christ. We are, unfortunately, sinful people, and the wages of sin is death. Because of that, and that God is just, we deserve to bear God's wrath. Also, because of our sinful nature and without a Savior, we are separated from God. And lastly, we are in bondage to sin and the kingdom of darkness. Becoming a sacrifice of atonement, Jesus took our place on the cross and accomplished what we could never do for ourselves and earned salvation for us. So it is my hope for this week to walk with you as we take a look at certain aspects of what Jesus accomplished. In particular, we will be looking at some biblical principles that have to do with how essential Jesus was with respect to our relationship with God. So I hope you'll join me again tomorrow and throughout the rest of this week as we gain a deeper understanding of how amazing our Savior is. God bless you, man, church. We'll see you tomorrow.